apologize, guys. You're going to have to see me calibrate the board real quick, but this will only take a second. Alright, so Thursday night, we are, hopefully you guys don't have too much trouble graphing the quadratic equations now. And we're going to go ahead and move on. And let me turn this down just a touch. We're going to go ahead and move on, and we're going to go to something called completing the square. Now this is a way of solving a quadratic equation. And you're going to hate it, but too bad, deal with it. When you do this though, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off small, and I'm going to have you just completing the square. And then from there we'll go ahead and we'll actually learn how to solve it after we complete the square starting tomorrow. Okay, so again, we're going to start off small. We're just going to work on the actual completing the square part. Alright, so again, the first thing you want to do is you want to find the value of A and the value of B. And this is going to be important as we're doing this. So this is going to be 1 and this is going to be negative 10. Alright, so what you want to do is the very first thing you want to do when you get an equation that looks like this. Okay, obviously you're missing the C part because what my goal is at the end, I want to be able to write this in the form A plus B squared. I want to be able to write this as a perfect square. And in order to do that, I need to find the C that will fit. Okay? So what we're going to do is, in order to do this, you're going to start off by dividing everything by A. Now in this case, A is just 1. Okay? And now I'm not referring to, I got to be careful here because I'm not referring to this value here. This is my variable value. I'm talking about the quadratic form value, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. I'm talking about this a. So the number in front of the variable being squared. So I'm going to divide by 1, which obviously doesn't change anything. Okay? Now, to find this, I am going to do this. I'm going to do b divided by 2, and I'm going to square it. Okay? So to find this number here, I'm going to take half of 10. So half of 10 is going to be negative 5 over, let me rewrite that. It's going to be 10 divided by 2, and I'm going to square it. Alright? So when I simplify this then, this gives me a squared minus 10a plus 10 divided by 2 is 5 squared. So that gives me a squared minus 10a plus 25. Okay? So this is my completed square now. This is a perfect square. Now, I'm actually going to show you a shortcut on factoring it as well. Again, I want to write it in this form if I can. Okay, so this is my completed square. Now, in order to write it in that form, it's really, really simple because you already have b. B is what you are going to get here. Okay, so it's going to be a. In this case, a ends up being the exact same thing as the a in the formula because there was an a in the problem. Now, whatever this is, that's going to be my sign for the inside. So this is going to be minus. And here is my b. So it's going to be a minus 5 squared. Okay? And that is my perfect square. So again, we'll go ahead and do this one more time. Now when I solve it, I'm going to have to be able to do this, and there's going to be some extra stuff we're going to do. So again, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide everything by 5. This is going to give me x squared minus 2x. And again, what I'm actually doing here is I'm actually, let me actually rewrite this slightly different. But what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to actually pull out a 5. Alright? So this is going to look something like this. Alright? So now we've got 5 times x squared minus 2x. So now we're going to square what's in the inside. Alright? So we still have our 5. This becomes x squared minus 2x plus 2 divided by 2 squared. 5 times x squared minus 2x plus, that's 1 squared. This is going to be 5 times x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay? Now, I'm going to actually show you 2 different ways of writing this, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write it in factored form. So again, the 5 goes in the factored form. Now x is going to be, remember, I want to write it in this form if I can. So my x goes here. Alright, and this is going to be minus, because this is a minus. And 2 divided by 2 is 1, which goes here. Okay, and then we have the square. So this is one way, and I want to see that you guys can write it in factored form. I'm actually going to go ahead and write the other half of this equation. So it's going to be it's ax squared plus no, sorry. So this is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared equals a plus b squared. Okay? I know I'm throwing another formula at you, but this is the first part of it, okay? So this would be the factored form of our completed square. Or the other way you would write this is that you would distribute the 5 back in, which would give you 5x squared minus 10x plus 5. And there would be my perfect square. Okay? That is the general idea behind completing the square. Tomorrow when you guys come in, I'm just going to give you some of these problems for a worksheet, and you're just going to be doing this, okay? You're not going to really be doing anything else. Over the weekend, we're going to take notes on how to actually solve an equation by using completing the square. I apologize, I just yawned. So anyways, have a great night, and make sure you take good notes. Bye.